Simula na naman yung tag-init. It's already April. Itong unang mga araw ng Abril ko nga nasabing, heto na. Here is the extreme heat na naranasan din namin ng aking mga estudyante nung nakaraang taon. Tapos na yung klase and napakainit talaga. Ito yung time na talagang mainit. No? So, 3 o'clock, kanina 12 o'clock, yung mas mainit 12 o'clock. Pero this time is 3 o'clock. I have a feeling na maaaring dumating yung time na mag-distant learning because of the heat na nararanasan. Problema, nag-research yung mga parents. Nag-research yung mga grade 10. Bago pala sila nag-aaral ng mga parts ng research, mga techniques na dapat gawin, research topic, paano mag-grupo ng maayos, ano mga research goals. If not face-to-face, mahirap. Pero nga lang, ito nga yung dilemma na sobrang init. Sobrang init na. Simula na yung init, so mahirap talaga. Dahil nga sa extreme heat na nararanasan, ay maraming mga eskwelahan sa aming bansa ang nag-distance learning. Sa amin, para sa akin, mas mainam ang ginawa ng aming pinuno. Pinaikli ang oras ng mga klase upang makauwi ang lahat bago mag alas 12. Mainam ito sapagkat ang mga bata ay nakapag-aaral ng face-to-face. Sila ay mas natuturuan naming mga guro at sila nga ay nakakauwi sa kanilang mga tahanan bago talagang uminit ng gusto ang temperatura. Our students will just have classes from 6 a.m. in the morning up to 11:30 in the morning. It's because it's not for them to stay in the school. I told my students, ingat po uwi. I traveled them to go home kaagad. And most of the students are really just walking, na naglalakad. Kaya dapat nga may umbrella. No? Pero definitely they just live here within our town. Dito sa aming room, it's more of para sa akin, ang pinaka-maginawa pa to sa aming room. Kasi we're on the edge of the school. Nasa dulo kami. And you can see may opening dito. And then dito is kabilang building. And then when I walk here, talagang this is a road. Road yan. Road. Okay. Opening. May opening. So, the air is kind of circulating. Our classroom has 2 doors. Yung isa. And then we have windows. Yan. Windows. Kapatan. Close lang dito sa pader na to. And of course, itong blackboard, close yan. So we have electric fans. This is the current developments. Thank you to our good principal. Right now, we're 48. This is our bat cave. Ang aming bat cave. So, madalas kumakain ng mga students. Nag-floor walks kami dyan kanina. Pero close din yan. So, most of the time, last year, dito kami. Pag talagang sobrang init, like as in may mahihilo na sa loob, we tend to go out to breathe fresh air. So in-measure ko yung temperature sa Google. There's sinasabi mo days temperature, week's temperature, pero I would like to really get the temperature. Right now it's 32. Lagay lang natin ito dito, mamaya obserbahan natin kung ano yung mangyayari doon sa temperature. Alright, so 7:30, 7:30, so 7:30, pero ang temperature sa room ay tumaas na ng konti. Kanina it's 32, pero ngayon it's already 33 degrees Celsius. So umiinit sa room, And so I changed my clothes. It's already 9:40 and classes are going on. Okay? So walang mga bata sa paligid. Talagang itong singaw ng yan, the heat bounce, and you can really feel the heat, mainit. Kung dito ka magstay, mainit, that bouncing of heat, nararamdaman ko yan when I'm in the 4th floor, Init, yung sinag yung init ng araw, tumatama sa pader and nag-bounce talaga. Itong road, yung road na yan, bounce talaga yung init yan eh. Like kung ikaw ay nakaupo malapit sa bintana, no? So if I ask my students, talaga nangingitan siya. Kasi talaga yung init niyang road na yan, nagbabounce din talaga, lalo na pag tanghali tapat na. So it's really good na kami half day lang. I really like this place. Usually doon ako nagagaling sa second floor, yan, sa gitna. And mainit talaga doon, mapagitna ng dalawang building. Pero really, itong part na to, whenever I alight from the stairs here, you can see an open space. Kaya it's really good na dumaan dito and mahangin. You can see that the young avocado trees moving. Our school, there are also cool spots like the mini parks. This can be a refuge for those who are seeking coolness in amidst this hot temperature. Marami pa talagang nature dito sa aming school. A lot of trees and there's still an open space dito sa harapan. Yan. Itong lugar na to ay maginhawa. So dito sa aming room, it's 34 degrees Celsius. Tamang-tamang na papauwi pa lang yung mga bata. Bago uminit talaga ng todo. It's just 11:40 and nakakauwi na kagad ng mga students. It's 1:20 in the afternoon and talagang I'm between these two buildings. Mainit, Talagang mainit ang singaw. So definitely the move to shorten the classes is a great one, from our administration. Kasi it secures na sa umaga matuto, sa umaga tolerable pa, pero talagang 1 o'clock, I'm just alone here, and open air pa nga both sides, pero talagang mainit ang dating, mainit yung klima. And so napakainit talaga ng kalsada. So yeah. So napakainit talaga ng kalsada. Sikat ang araw. So laki talaga ng tulong ng mga shades ng puno. Yung shade na lilom ng puno, nakakapagpapahinga kasi sa ilalim. Actually, nasa ilalim ko isang shade. Ay napakainit doon. Tinanggalingan ko. Napakalayo, init. And dito rin yung shade, napakahirap maglakad kung walang ilim. Because really it's too hot. Really, even though I'm just sitting in a motorcycle driving, the heat causes tiredness and curiously, nakakapagod. Sometimes you feel like gasping for air and reaching for water. So I think I'm gonna drink water first and get water in my box. If you do not have water, it's gonna really be difficult. You might get heat stroke. Yung mga heat stroke sa pag-drive ng mahaba. Kaya napakainit, so it's really very important na you have water. So tuloy na ako, diretso na ako pa uwi. Feel kaya na to. Dito sa video na to, nakita nyo yung experience ko at ninyo sa extreme heat. You have seen that I measured the temperature of the classroom, and you've seen that hour by hour. This is a fact about April and May, especially in our country. These months are so hot. Like, talagang pagdating sa tanghali, well, we cannot make use of our classroom
kasi sobrang init. Example, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Really talagang may initan ng mga estudyante and it's really uncomfortable. Said that schools, classrooms should be conducive to learning. Pero regarding this extreme heat last April and May, it was really a problem. Extreme heat of April and May brings a dilemma to all of us. For the authorities, dapat ba mag-distant learning na lang? Like this is online distance learning or modular distant learning, hindi na face-to-face. Or mag face-to-face pero we are risking the students' health. Like baka may heat stroke na estudyante or teacher. For school authorities, ang number one dyan, let education continue. Nga lang, we have seen in the past that this distant learning, although not really totally negative, has some prerequisites. Like for example, the students and the home has Wi-Fi, or at least the community free Wi-Fi. Do students have gadgets? And of course, for me, yung mindset then, do the students and the teacher have the right mindset in distant learning? I also mentioned here that our school did not go for distant learning. Instead, we had the classes cut short. Instead of having a 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., we know that 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. is burning hot. So our school authorities decided that the classes should be 7 a.m. to 11:30. In the last week of May, we had 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. That allows the students to still go home earlier. Up next, I'll be telling to you what high school students told me of their experiences about the extreme heat and how it affected their learning. So please check this one.
How is the learning of students these hot months of April and May?
Most of the students share that it used to be easy to listen and to work on activities as well as performance tasks. But nowadays, because it's so hot, it really just simply sapped their energy. Mas nagiging mabagal at matagal ang aking pag-aaral dahil nakapanghihina ang init. Ang resulta nito ay nadidelay ako sa pagtapos ng aking mga aralin at mga activities. Dahil sa matinding init, ako ay hindi komportabling mag-aral. Kadalasan ay nakararamdam ako ng pagkaantok sa klase. Pagdating naman sa bahay, napapansin ko na mas pinipili ko na lang na magpahinga kaysa mag-aral o gumawa ng kung ano paman.
It saps energy. It saps energy that your body cannot function normally.
Hindi ko natututunan ng madali ang aking mga aralin dahil nadidistract ako sa init. May mga araw na hindi nakikiayon ang aking katawan sa nais ng aking utak. Gusto kong mag-focus sa pag-aaral pero hindi ako makapokus.
To study in the afternoons, but really it's so hot. So in the afternoon, what happened is she fell asleep. She waits nighttime or even early in the morning. We're in school. That's wherein she studied.
Dati ay nakapagsisimula akong gumawa ng mga gawain ko sa hapon, ngunit dahil sa matinding init, ako ay sa gabi na lang o kaya sa madaling araw gumagawa dahil di ganong kainit kapag mga ganong oras.
How are the students' experience of focusing on the lessons despite the extreme heat in the classroom?
Section 1 students, up to the hetero sections, they have all the same answers. They said, it's so hard to focus.
Dahil sa init ay hindi ako makapag-focus sa mga talakayan. Minsan sobrang basa na ng likuran ko at yun ang naiisip ko. Naisip ko ding lumabas o lumipat ng upuan dahil sobrang init. Ganyan kaya hindi ko nasusundan ang discussion ni ma'am. Imbis na mag-focus ako sa mga aralin, iniisip ko kung paano wag papawisan at wag mainitan. Grabe ang init. Nakakahilo. Mayroong electric fans pero hindi nito kaya ang sobrang init. Hindi talaga ako makapag-focus ng 100%.
How did the high temperatures during the months of April and May affect your interaction with the physical spaces of the classroom and school?
There's a natural tendency of a person to move to a cooler place when the temperature gets too hot. Students tend to sit on the floor because the floor is cooler. They tend to go outside to breathe fresh air, going near the electric fans, and they wanted to do their activities really outside. Minsan sa labas nagtuturo ang aming guro. Kami ay nauupo sa sahig o kaya ay sa may hagdanan. Malamig maupo sa sahig kaysa sa upuan. Mas okay din sa labas kaysa sa loob ng classroom. Lumilipat ako ng upuan para lang matutukan ng electric fan para hindi pawisan. Kapag nagka-free time, lumalabas agad ako ng classroom para magpahangin. Mas presko talaga kasi sa labas ng classroom kaysa sa loob. Nakaka-suffocate sa loob kasi mainit talaga.
How did the high temperature during April and May affect students' social interaction with each other?
One thing that is affected by the extreme heat is the sociality of the students. Ito yung pakikisama nila sa kapwa nila students. Grade 7 answered, usually they are running around. They're still playing the grade 7. These are small, these are still young students. But during this extreme heat, they have to stop. Napapansin kong iniiwasan ang paglalaro at pagtatakbuhan ng aking mga kaklase dahil napakainit nga at ayaw nilang pagpawisan. Iwas na rin kami sa pagdidikit-dikit. Hindi na rin kami nag-aakbayan. Para sa akin, nababawasan ang pagbabanding namin dahil sa init. The gymnasium is usually the place wherein students do their activities such as groupings and other collaborative performances. It is also the place where they go if they want to play in a group like basketball or volleyball. But during these hot months, there are times that there are no students in the gym because it's really hot. Nabawasan ang mga activities sa gymnasium gaya ng mga sayaw at sports. Dati ay okay ding maglaro doon kapag PE time. Pero dahil napakainit ng panahon, kahit may bubong ang gym, ramdam ito. Kaya hindi na masyado kami nagpupunta sa school gymnasium. Dati mahilig ang mga classmate ko sa groupings. Pero ngayon, dahil bang init, inaayawan na nila ang groupings. Napansin ko din na mainitin ang ulo at mabilis mapikon ang mga kaklase ko. Mahirap din silang pasunurin dahil sila ay walang gana. Madalas ginagawa na lang ang grouping sa messenger kaysa mag-meet up pa sa labas. Yung iba mas gusto individual na lamang. Many wrote that they stay in a SM so that it will be cooler because there's air condition there. Dahil sa sobrang init, maraming mga estudyante ang pumupunta sa SM Mall. Kasi doon ay may aircon. Masarap doon mag-hangout kasi hindi mainit. Bihira na yung pumupunta sa lawa sa may park dahil mainit nga. Usually students, they kind of linger on certain spots. Some students wrote they walk faster for them to reach home and to rest. Dati ay babagalan namin yung paglalakad para hindi ka agad makarating sa aming bahay-bahay. Masarap ang kwentuhan. Minsan tumatambay din kami sa daan. Pero ngayon, lahat ay mabilis nang maglakad. Lahat ay nagmamadaling makauwi dahil papainit ng papainit ang araw. At para na rin makapahinga agad sa bahay. In phenomenology, Max van Manen's, our experience is tied to the existentials. So there is intention. Ito nga yung focus ng mga students sa pag-aaral, learning despite this extreme heat. There's also body or corporal. So ito yung of course the student himself, herself, yung katawan nila, no? How does the body feel? Last April and May, wherein we are having extreme heat inside the classroom. Now there's also another extension is the space. This is the classroom, the school, the grounds where they usually moved. No? Yan. There's also time. Ito yung oras. So, this refers to yung mga time na na-cut. Usually, it's 7 a.m. to 3. Pero it got changed. It got shorter. It became 7 a.m. to 11:30. And then finally, it became 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. There's also sociality. So, ito yung pakikisalamuhan naman nila. So in this study, it is found that all of these existentials are affected negatively. because of the extreme heat. Yung focus is so difficult to focus. Even your intention is to study very well, pero the heat is really irritating the student. The one, is also affected negatively. Like the student wrote, as far as I recall, iniisip niya yung lesson pero iniintindi niya pa rin yung init. Thinking of what the student shared, she was thinking of the lesson but she is so bothered by the heat. She feels the perspiration of her body and is so uncomfortable. Regarding the space, the classroom ought to be conducive to learning. In this study, saan ang lugar na maginhawa? Fortunately, it's not inside the classroom. It's outside the classroom. Doon sa mga hallways, kung saan may open spaces, sa mini parks, sa lilim ng puno, or sa shadow ng building sa labas. So definitely sa labas ang maginhawa. Unfortunately, hindi sa loob, it should be na classrooms are conducive to learning, pero April and May, it's really hot and dry months, plus the climate change, talagang mainit sa loob ng classroom. Regarding sociality, well, we have the ideal that students bond, they are together with their peers, growing up, having fun, learning together, developing. Kailangan niya sa paglaki nila, pero even that is affected negatively by the extreme heat. Student wrote, nagbaban pa dapat sila pa uwi, pero lahat sila nagmamadaling maglakad pa uwi. Dahil hapong-hapo ang katawan nila sa init, pagod na pagod. This is now the conclusion. April and May this year and last year was really too hot for a classroom learning. Students are having a hard time learning in these hot months. You should refer to the old calendar. Maaaring tanungin niyo na, sino ba talaga kasi yung may kasalanan yung pagbabago ng calendar na yan? Bakit binago yan? Personally, and as well as the Thinkers Club, my students, I told them, we should not be in this blame game. No, things happened due to some circumstances. As far as I can recall, we were worrying that education might stop during the pandemic. Kaya yung opening na delay. But still, we had education. I feel that's something that we can be thankful for all. Is pointing to some suggestions, and these are the following. I focus on the 5 existentials. For the intention, we cannot say that mind over matter. Kailangan mas manaig ang utak kaysa sa katawan, kaysa sa circumstances. We cannot say that because really students focus, intention, talagang mahirap. Pag mainit, we found na talagang napakahirap talaga. The solution to that is, of course, make better the setting of the student. The second existential is the body. Well, for the body, students are having discomfort because of this extreme heat. Many students say that they're feeling thirsty, dizzy, and they're feeling tired because of the extreme heat. The study suggests a few things regarding this. First of all, there should be a source of water, like a drinking faucet where students can get water. Do you think water dispenser inside the classroom or in specific places in the building, as in free water for the students, is also a good idea? One thing that lessens the heat that the body's feeling are the mechanical fans, those small rechargeable fans, um, and electric fans, of course. Well, for this one, I am just having an idea that I think some public servants can help us on this one. Perhaps local politicians or big politicians or even the business sector. You see, students don't have work yet. So if perhaps somebody can remember them and give them this fans or this small rechargeable fans, additional electric fans, students can appreciate that. And for sure, they will remember that. The sincere good deeds done by politicians, like giving them fans or rechargeable fans, electric fans, and umbrellas. Acts of kindness that they will never forget. Yeah, someday they will be voting, and I'm sure they will be voting for the right persons. The corporal is also connected with the spatial, or the body is connected to the space. So one thing that this study is pointing to is for us to ensure that the setting of studying, especially in the hot and dry months of April and May, should be cool places. Will students be confined only inside the classroom, or they can use the outside spaces, the more open spaces, spaces under the shade of a tree, or cool spots like gardens, or even the shadow of the tall building outside. I like to think that in the future, we don't succumb to these bad experiences of extreme temperatures, but we adapt to it. We make use of what we can in order for education to continue. And I think it's not bad to think of a classes that's being held under a tree during hot months. Because we cannot say, it's not only April and May. Times are changing. Climate change is really affecting this. The study is also suggesting that we can create more cool spaces for our students, especially in these hot months. Places wherein they can study comfortably. Perhaps we can have classroom that has more openings. It's not only two openings like a door here, window here, and then windows here. So just the air is just passing like this. Perhaps we can have classrooms that has more openings, 3 to 4 openings, so that the air is circulating. Perhaps we can consider the heritage buildings of Department of Education. I think those were built during the American period. These buildings, I think these are Gabaldon buildings. Um, they really have a lot of openings and hindi talaga sila nakadikit sa ground, you know? It's kind of, there's a structure that's elevated and with a lot of openings. And the ceiling is really high, so it's really not hot. I think the engineers or the architect of those times have in their mind that this building is for tropical climate country like Philippines. For temporal or time, this study points that we can choose to shorten the classes and to make use of the cooler time of the day for our students to study instead of having a distance learning wherein really it is more of independent learning and really majority of the students cannot do that yet. Why not consider having 9 classes? Well, that's possible. However, I feel it would require some coordination or help from the other agencies, like the Philippine National Police, and of course the local government to ensure students' safety in going to school and in going home. Lastly, for the sociality of students, yung pagkapwa students nila. Well, this is also connected spatial. So perhaps this will be for our city planners or town planners, our local government main authority like our mayor. Perhaps we can create spaces that are really comfortable, spaces designed for these hot months, wherein students and people can rest kapag talagang napaka-mainit talaga. So they will not just be lingering in the mall, no? Or this also make me think of in the school can we have a certain place that is air conditioned and students who are badly needing that uh, low temperature kapag napakainit talaga can go. And so perhaps those things are possible. You can share the aircon, no? Especially to students who talagang nahihilo na, no? And perhaps that's possible. Yeah, so this is the part where I think I can end the video. Thank you very much for listening or for watching. Ponderers, maraming salamat. So also I am considering, I think it's good idea that sama natin yung Thinkers Club, sa pag uusap itong bagay na ito. Perhaps they can share more ideas. One project that I am working on is the end months. So this one is something for the teachers, that are you students kind of ought to know din, para you can empathize with your teachers then every end of school year. Ano yung mga bagay na nagpapahirap sa mga teachers or sino yung mga tao? So this is something of an upcoming research project. So we're gonna work on that and we're gonna share it once it's done. Yan, so maraming salamat sa inyo sa panonood nito and God bless everyone. See you again on the next episode.